Hello and welcome to Lit.
Oh shit.
Why'd you say it
The
like
way I
that?
said it. I'm
Why can't you?
Astrid Bear.
I'm
We
Oh
don't talk
no
about that.
HP.
And we're covering Alya Sometimes Hides Your Feeling in Russian. This is the second episode to our podcast. It has been a while. Um
Yeah, we've
and
been very
yeah,
consistent with our uploads.
totally. I guess do you just want to hop right into it? You want to just we got this?
Yeah.
Um, all right. So first, let's just talk about a little bit of the history because we're just gonna kind of give you guys an overview quickly before we get into our big stuff. Extremely short history. Let's talk about some generic stuff. This anime, Alya Sometimes Hides Her Feeling in Russian, it was actually created as a novel sometime in early 2020. However, in about 2021, the publisher ended up getting switched, thus it became a light novel series, and from there, it's had 8 volumes since then, which it's a very recent series. And as of now, it just got an anime adaptation, and it is still an ongoing series, and that's pretty much what's been going on. It's got a pretty big fan base when it comes to the light novels, and that's about it. Honestly, with the history, it's pretty short and sweet. HP will talk a little bit about the summary of like what the show is about, so I'll just pass the mic over to him before
Yeah,
we get into the
yeah.
review.
Yeah, no, it's actually kind of I'd say it's a pretty interesting concept. The show's based on the basic idea is pretty much that it's a rom-com between these two characters and the female character is Russian. And the idea is that the main character knows the Russian language because he studied it when he was a child, and this girl who's into him will say like really embarrassing romantic things to him in Russian, uh, and he understands her, but she doesn't know. So it's a very interesting dynamic between the two of them. But what's cool is it isn't the entire anime isn't just based on that idea. There's actually in-depth written characters and story to the whole idea. It's well thought out and it's pretty entertaining. But no, in the first few episodes, it's interesting. The first episode pretty much is just a kind of an introduction to the dynamic between the two main characters, as well as introducing their personalities as well as some other side characters, such as a possible romantic interest with the main character's childhood friend. And it's very basic, very simple. The second episode, it kind of speeds up a little bit. You get introduced to the student council, the uh, the main character's childhood friend, and the by the way, the female lead, her name's Alya, and the main character's name is Masachika. I can't say it right, but no. In the second episode, they
Is
kind
it
of
Alia
talk.
or Alia?
I don't know Alya. I don't. Alya probably sounds better. It probably sounds more correct.
Damn, non-English names. I
But
can't. I
why?
can't.
Why can't you be
I'm too
English?
American. I'm too white. I can't pronounce these names.
But no, no. Second episode, the childhood friend and Alia, they're on the student council. We get introduced to that. But what's very interesting, it's actually revealed that the childhood friend was actually lying and is actually the main character's sister. But Alia doesn't know that, and so that's another dynamic is that she thinks she's kind of competing with the childhood friend for his attention. In reality, they're just siblings. Although it is a little bit weird because uh, it's kind of implicated that the that his sister is kind of into him. It's a little bit weird. She does some very odd things that you kind of have to. It's it's teetering on the line of is this just trolly or is she just really weird? But no,
Luckily, it is,
yeah.
but
The
it is
second,
very funny.
yeah, the rest of the episode pretty
Makes
simple.
sense.
The two siblings, they go to a mall. They're checking out stuff. Alias sees them there, and she's like, "Oh, why are they together? Are they dating?" Whoa. They see Alia. She's not very good at staking them out. They meet up with her, and then they go eat ramen, which is very interesting. But apparently the sister was maniacally planning because for some reason the sister hates Alia, or at least loves trolling her. So they go to this ramen place, and it's really called like Hell's Kitchen or something like that. It's a super spicy ramen place, and the sister pretty much just bullies Alia into eating spicy ramen, and that's the episode. Third episode is probably the, at least for me, the least interesting. It was pretty much a backstory of the first half of it was a backstory of Alia when she was a kid living in Russia, and it kind of shows part of her character personality is that she likes doing things solo. She's like a lone wolf. She doesn't like relying on other people, and that's kind of was shown through a situation in her childhood that happened. And the second half of the episode is pretty much just uh the backstory between how Alia and the main character met and how she fell in love with him. And that's it. That's literally the entirety of the third episode. Not a lot happened. The fourth episode, here's another thing: the first three episodes were pretty much just an introduction, meeting the characters, the dynamic, and a little bit of backstory. The fourth episode kind of kicks it off a little bit more. Still a bit slow, not a lot happens. It's pretty much the student council president. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. The end of the third episode, we get to meet a new character, Alia's older sister, who's also from Russia. I mean, that would make sense. And her and the main character go shopping. That's just like the last 4 minutes of the episode. Well, the fourth episode, Alia's older sister, who's also in the student council, and the student council president try to convince him to join the student council. He pretty much says no. And then he hears that Alia is settling a dispute between the baseball and soccer team. He goes to help her out. He helps her resolve the dispute. She's impressed by him. Then he joins the student council because he's like, I might give this a try. And then right as they're leaving the school, he tells Alia that he's gonna help her become the student council president and that she'll always be there for him. And then she tells him that she loves him in Russian. And then the credits pretty much roll. And then there's an after credits scene where Alia is rolling around on her bed like, I can't believe I said that. And that's it. That's pretty much it. The first
Was
four
there
episodes.
actually that scene?
Yeah,
Damn.
no, she's literally, yeah. And then one more thing, after she's rolling around on her bed, her older sister comes into the house, and they have a short conversation, and the older sister pretty much implies that she's going to try to compete against Alia for the main character's attention. It was a little bit weird. That's pretty much it.
To highlight, by the way, guys, forgot to kind of mention this in the beginning. The whole point of this podcast series is to kind of tell you if you should watch these animes during, like, while they're airing. That's why we watch the first four and kind of tell you a little bit about them without spoiling too much, you know. So you guys get a little bit of an idea here. Though that is funny. I didn't see that after credit scene. HP.
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, I
that's,
got the 17 minutes, and it's like, after credits, there's got to be something after this. That's
that
suspicious.
is weird. I mean, I enjoy it because it's just, you know, like a little bit of a simplicity. It kind of reminds you of like childhood Shinibio in a way. It's like it's simple, but it's not anything. Anyways, we probably we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So first off, we kind of want to talk about musical score.
Yeah, because we're both really
the
into that. We love talking about music
Yeah.
and how it's presented in these in these anime. You go.
And yeah, and the music was made by Hirokai. Like I said, I got that white English man in me, man. I can't pronounce these names for shit. I'm gonna butcher this up, but
Racist.
Hirokai Tetsutsumi. He is the main guy that did the music. And as HP will kind of mention, like you kind of agree with me, like the music wasn't really that memorable.
Yeah,
like,
I kind of didn't even notice it, and when he mentioned we were going to talk about the music note for this one, I kind of thought back and I'm like, I don't remember it at all. And I went back and looked. The music note is just, it's kind of just like very simplistic background music. Obviously, in some moments, it's, you know, some more important moments, it's like, oh, got to kick it up. It's the violin this time, and a little bit of piano. It's louder, you know. But for the most part, it's really quiet in the background. You don't notice it. Nothing special.
And it's interesting because the guy that did this anime, and I don't watch every anime in the world. I'm not super big into anime like my friend over here. Well, I'm not as big into anime as he is. But this guy, he was pointing out to me that he doesn't remember much of the works that this guy's done, which he's also done like things like Jujutsu Kaisen and Dr. Stone. And you were telling me, I think that it just the musical scores in those as well. You don't remember much, or
Yeah,
like what was it like in those shows?
Doctor Stone has some unique sounds. Like at the very beginning of each episode, it plays a little note, like when it's doing the, like in Pokemon where it has the, where the characters will say what the episode's title is.
Yeah,
It's like that, but instead of them saying it, it shows the title and then does this little sound. It's like a unique sound. In that one, the music score is a little bit more prominent, but it's still simplistic, and it's not really, like, I can't even, thinking back on it, it's not notable enough that I remember much from it. And same with Jujutsu Kaisen. It's mainly the music score in those ones just don't stand out very much. They're really kind of just in the background to help promote whatever the scene is doing. So you do get something out of it, that it does to some degree enhance the scene, but it's nothing special, right?
yeah,
It
that
doesn't
makes sense
stand
to
out at
me.
all.
But other than that, though, I gotta say though, the ending music that because we already talked about this before this episode a little bit, but that was insane.
That's cool. Yeah, the
With
production the
yeah,
production value is very similar to Chainsaw Man, where each episode at the end, the ending credits, they're doing a different song and a completely different animation, which is really sick. It's really sick. You don't see that often.
and I think my favorite part though was the fact that every single song they've done has come from like other famous animes or like love. It fits the episode. I've actually realized that. I didn't even tell you
Yeah.
this. It's cool. If you go back and look at the translations for the songs at the endings, they fit the full episode, but they're very popular songs like Hari Hari Yukai. Um, I can't pronounce it. It's
Yeah. Well,
Kuti Gomen. Like,
yeah. You'll have to take our word for it when you go and, listen to, or when you watch the anime. But no, words. It's popular anime music that you've seen or heard before, seen anime characters dancing to, or seen animators make memes out of. It's just popular Japanese music. Some of it's old timey stuff, some of it's new pop music. It's really cool. It's really cool. And they have the sub voice actor, or not the Japanese voice actor actually sing all of the songs, do their own cover of it, which is really cool as well.
which before we get into that, because that is on our next thing, is we're gonna get into the voice actors, which is a really cool, really cool thing. I do want to say like overall the music score, I'm just gonna drop down and give a 5. It's not average. I don't notice it because
Yeah,
therefore
I'd
it
give
can't
it.
be bad, and I don't
Yeah,
notice it's good either. Like
yeah, I'd
it's
give
just
it
not
like
memorable. However, the sorry, go ahead.
I'd give it a 4.5, just because it's I would generally say I feel like to some degree I can remember some of the other works he's done better and those other anime. This one I just genuinely not at all. I don't remember it at all. I'm gonna have to give it like a
It's
4.5 on
really,
the music.
yeah. I don't disagree because I remember I went back and go listen to it just because we were, I was looking at this like
Because it's like,
chapter and
what,
I'm like,
I don't remember it. I gotta go
I don't
back.
remember it at all. And I go back and it's like the quietest thing. Like the audio of the characters is like 100 times like louder than what the music is. I had to focus in on the music. I'm like, simple shit. That's
Yeah, it's
stop
not
using that word.
nothing
But
special. Nothing special.
I will say though, ending and opening on that note, because
Those
the
are
musical
nice.
score is different from that musical score. That I would give like an 8, like a solid
Yeah,
8.
no,
I
no.
like the animation for the opening, ending, and the song choice, just very good.
Yeah, no,
Actors though,
they did
sorry, go
very
ahead.
good.
Sorry, my
They
bad.
did, yeah. Conclusion, they did very good
Yeah.
with the ending and the opening. All right, now moving on to actors. Yeah, yeah,
So the first actor I want to talk about with you, because like everything after this, we haven't really discussed with each other. Sumarai Yusaka, I think is how you pronounce her name. She's the one that plays the Russian girl, Alya.
yeah. She
She's
does
also
an
known to have played.
incredible job.
She does. I think it's impressive because she's also played Nagatoro, Shaltir, and Lum, which you know that I really enjoyed your Sei Yatsuro. I
Yeah.
gotta say though, because Nagatoro and Shaltir, compared to Alya, like this voice actor is just an incredible vocal
Oh yeah.
range. Like
Oh yeah.
I'm impressed.
No, the voice acting is so good with this character. I mean, she does both a convincing Japanese accent, and she has very fluent Russian and does a very convincing. If she, I mean, if she isn't, I don't know if she. I'm assuming she's Japanese, but her Russian accent is
Yeah,
incredibly convincing, and she can.
yeah.
The switch is beautiful between the two.
She studied. She learned what? She's like trilingual, I think. Like she learned when she was really young. She didn't just know Japanese, but she got fluent, I think, by the age of like almost 8 in
Dang.
English, and then later in Russian. So she's fluent in all three, which is incredible to me. That like it's the perfect character, and somehow compared to the English dub, because I do like me and HP over here, we don't necessarily we don't have an opinion on dub or sub in the sense that we just whatever has the better voice acting. I gotta say the
Yeah.
dub is bad, and it's not because it's
Yeah.
bad. It's because the English dubber, she knows Russian. I've looked this up. It's just that there's not she doesn't put the accents on the words. Like when you listen
Yeah.
to a Spanish person talk, it's very fluid. There's accents. Like it's not like accent like in terms of like, oh, I'm British. No, the words have individual sounding vowels. And they're when you're like, for example, if I'm an American speaking Russian, it's not gonna sound like that accent to it. It's I can't like put the accents on those letters, like stress those letters out because I'm just
Yeah.
not used to it.
Yeah.
Somehow the Japanese voice actress perfects that. She's able to stress
Oh
them
yeah.
out. This English one just cannot, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
interesting.
What it feels like to me is, and yet, further note, the dub voice acting is. It's not like the voice actors are bad or anything. I think they were just poorly chosen, because the sub voice,
Yeah,
this anime for the voice actors, it's incredibly important who they decided to choose to do the roles, because it has such a focus on different languages, right? They're having multiple characters speak and switch between Russian and Japanese. It's not even just this Alya character. There are other Russian characters in the anime, as well as the main character himself, Masachika. He knows Russian and does it because he the in the story he actually went and lived in Russia for a while, and so he also, and this is which is also what's really cool, is the sub voice actor or the Japanese voice actor for the main character does both a Japanese and a Russian accent very well, as well as
it's impressive.
as the Alien character, and so that's why the
And I don't think
dub.
he.
Sorry.
I was gonna say I don't think he actually knows Russian in real life either, though. That's the impressive part with him.
Yeah, no,
I gotta give him credit.
he does an incredible job, but the dub kind of makes me mad a little bit because whoever chose the voice actors just, I'm sorry, it felt like they just did not care, and that's one of the most important things for this anime is choosing not only, voice actors that at least know Russian, or but also that can do sort of a convincing Russian accent to some degree, or convince you of that, right? And it doesn't feel like
Yeah,
that at all. To be honest, some like the main character's voice actor, he is the same voice act. The dude who's doing the voice acting for the dub is the same dude who does Senku from Doctor Stone. Have you seen Doctor Stone? You know what that voice actor sounds like.
yeah.
He does not fit the main character at
And it's weird to
all.
me. It's weird because the Japanese voice actor is Kohei Amatsaki. I'll get to that in a second. The reason why I mentioned that, but the English guy also plays Van Hohenheim from the newer Full Metal, and then the old Metal he played Alphonse, which both of those characters, including I think Doctor Stone, he has more of a deeper voice. Him trying to play a teenager does not boat well by like literally any measure. Like no
Well,
offense, but the guy sounds a little bit like fruity almost, and it's
yeah,
or has like a
yeah,
voice crack to it. And I'm not saying like that's necessarily like a bad thing to those types of people, but for what this character's supposed to be, which is a high schooler, and how he's supposed to have these inflections, it sounds really off. There's moments that he sounds really, really good, and then there's moments that it's like this sounds like chills, like
yeah,
number 15. It's like, whoa,
yeah.
like
No,
what?
and what's interesting, he does a pretty first Senku. He does, I think, for that. It's hard because he's one of those voice actors that, if I'm going to be quite frank, I've heard him as Senku. I think he plays Senku well, but most of the roles I've seen him in, I just don't see it. Like he did the main character for Love Is War, and I don't see that at all. And to be honest, with this
No,
Alia,
it was bad in that anime
yeah,
too.
with
I
this
remember that.
Alia anime, his voice is so unique sounding that when he does a character like Senku, Like I see that as like that's Senku's voice, right? And in some other roles, he does it well enough with those characters, but with this one, it doesn't sound right. I mean, to some degree, it's like this guy is supposed to be in his like third year of high school, and sometimes with this dub voice actor, he sounds like he's 12. It doesn't sound good, and on top of that,
it's weird.
the specific
You
voice the
can't
voice actor's trying to do sounds very goofy, straight up,
you
just
can't
very
hit the
goofy.
right notes for what he is, and like it's unfortunate, right? Like he played Alphonse, right, which is one of the kids in Full Metal, so he clearly can get to that range. It's just that I don't think he's really played that many high school type characters. At least I don't remember him playing that many, to where he just doesn't have that voice. By the way, back to Alya's voice actor, her English voice actor. By the way, I talked to you about this. I want to highlight to this people. Like I said, like we said before, good voice actors, bad selection like that guy. Alia's voice actor in English not only is like interesting, but she's only really ever played in 5 animes besides Pokemon. She's played Ash Ketchum since Pokemon X and Y, and so her only voice she really knows how to do is like side characters that are really not that important in Pokemon. Like, and yeah, that doesn't like, mean anything against their talent. I'm just saying that like they've done such a amount of work in that area that I think that it's carried over to where they just can't get that affliction that Alia kind of needs. It sounds too
Yeah,
kiddish or sounds too like I don't know.
yeah,
It's a I don't know how to describe it. It just
yeah,
doesn't seem right for the
yeah,
character design.
yeah. I think as a final note on this, I'd say it's just very disappointing because it should. I think the whatever dubbing agency, that being Crunchyroll, whatever that got this anime, I think they just really did not put enough effort or care into, quite frankly, choosing the voice actors for this anime is probably one of the most important things to this anime, is how the characters sound, how they are able to, give a convincing both Russian and Japanese accent, as well as sounding right in that language. That part is the most important, and it feels like the dubbing agency just did not care or give any thought to it. It's
Yeah.
very disappointing. It's very disappointing.
I want to talk about because I know that we've talked about this for a long time, but there is one character I want to throw in here from the Japanese version, which is Soyo Yuki. She is she's the sister of the main character that we kind of talked about in the. I was way away from my mic. I just realized she's kind of the brothers. She's the sister to the main character. The reason why I want to bring her up is she's only ever played in 5 animes. This is her 5th. Every other anime she's played on Mal has been rated as less than a 7.5 roughly. This is her first one where she's done like a big hit, and all of the other characters she's played aside. And I gotta say, she is fantastic. And I will say for people to kind of look out because she might be coming in for more important roles because just her voice acting alone is pretty impressive. I'm surprised that she's very new. She's a very new voice actor that I think actually has a lot of potential in future animes. So just somebody to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Um,
But moving on to the
Story
next
pacing,
point, which
yeah,
is story pacing.
story pacing.
And I have a lot to say here, because if I'm
I,
going to be,
yeah, let's converse. Let's go.
yeah, I would say this might be, at least for me, one of the lowest points of the anime. I think
I would tend to agree.
the pace, yeah, no, the pacing, it's very odd, and I mean, the first 3 episodes, it kind of, I mean, it's an introduction, and I can be forgiving there, but even then, it's not a lot of stuff happens in each episode, right? I mean, episode 3, like we discussed, it's literally like, okay, Alya's backstory, why she likes being a lone wolf. Okay, second half of the episode, how Alya and the main character met, and then that's it. And the first 2 episodes, it's a
Yeah,
lot of dynamics between the 3 characters, that being the 2 siblings and Alya, and just kind of these little funny moments to help you get to know the characters better. But that's an introduction. I can be forgiving. My main thing was with the 4th episode. It because that's kind
really.
of, yeah, because that those 3 episodes, introduction, I can be forgiving. The 4th episode was supposed to kick it off, and I'm like, not a lot happened in the 4th episode at all. Like, I mean, to give a basic summary, it was literally, the student council was like, hey, you should join the student council, and the main character was like, no. And the student council's like, okay, go help Alya. And the MC was like, okay. And then she helps Alya, and Alya's like, okay, thank you for helping me. And then they go back to the student council, and they're like, you want to join the student council now? He's like, okay. And then he goes and tells Alya she'll never be alone again. And then she tells him, I love you. End credits. And then she rolls around on her bed for like 2 minutes, can't believing that she
Yeah,
told him I love him.
that
That's it.
that might be one of the weaker episodes. I remember
That was
more
it.
though from the fact that she did a few. It was a few flashbacks for the guy for
Yeah,
his
there were a
father a little
couple.
bit there though.
Yeah.
That was, I think, where I think that episode was important. However, I do see the pacing as somewhat of a problem. There is scenes that are a bit cringy that like I was like, what? Like the sock scene in like episode 1. I was
Oh,
like,
the sock
what am I
scene.
watching? That made
Dude,
me drop my rating to like a 6 when I first watched it. It went way up, but that was like,
yeah. To give it
why?
to give an understanding,
Why?
there's a scene for some reason. They're in the classroom alone, and she's like, she needs to take off her sock for some reason. And she's like, hey, you should take off my sock, because she's trying to tease him. And he's like, oh. And then he's like, wait a minute. You know what? Yeah, I will take off your sock. And then he takes off her sock.
It
And she's like,
so
I can't believe you
weird.
did that. And she kicks him in the face and runs away.
Like, and that took up like 3 minutes, and I'm like, why? It
Yeah.
didn't add the
Like,
character.
it's supposed to be like
It
an
bounces around.
a funny thing to show their characters and stuff and their personalities, and that did do it well. It showed that the main character is kind of an oddball, and he's a little bit strange, and it also showed that she's kind of a tease, but at the same time she gets flustered easily, because that's the dynamic between them. She likes to tease him, but but at the same time she does actually have feelings for him and gets embarrassed by things. So it
See,
did
I
it
feel
did
like the
accurately show that.
I feel like every episode is like almost like a I'm so distance away because I'm like leaning back and thinking. Sorry to
No,
everybody
you're
that's
no, you're
listening when
no,
I go
no,
like
your
in and
audio,
out.
your audio's fine. Your audio's fine.
Uh, okay, I just went back in. I wanted to say though, like on that note, I feel like the first 4 episodes are less of like a development of the romance, more of a development, like not even development. It's straight up just character backstory. Like it
Yeah,
introduces us to the characters, and the 4 episodes are more divided into the main character, Alya, the Alya's sister, and the main character's sister. Those 4 characters is pretty much what makes up the background for all of it. Like it's really just like giving us and introducing us the characters,
yeah.
which isn't
Because there
bad.
are
I've seen
the
worse.
yeah,
Kawaii Daki was horrendous. That
yeah,
was probably the slowest paced thing I've ever seen where I had to like give
yeah,
up on it. But
yeah,
this is
and
like more like childhood Chinibio almost.
yeah, and it's cool because throughout the 4 episodes there are flashbacks from the main character that give sort of a deeper background into his and his sister's situation, what happened with them, and it kind of breadcrumbs you along. I like that. That's nice. And so mainly it's just in those 4 episodes that an introduction, kind of a setup. This is how the characters react. This is their dynamic. And like so the fourth episode kind of sets it up more as it gets the main character to join the student
Mhm.
council. And it's kind of just set up, mainly just set up. But even then, not a lot happens in each episode. First two, first 2 episodes, funny moments, funny, interesting moments with characters. Third episode, backstory. Fourth episode, things kick off. Not a
Yeah,
lot happens. The pacing's a little bit weird and a little bit awkward, and not a lot happens.
I just hope that within the episode after, because I mean part of this is like we're just talking about this. Like I just hope that where this ends up going, because I think it will, is towards more of that development now that we've gotten. Because I think we've gotten situated with every character. Honestly, like I think we've kind of gotten done. I will say the weird thing with the pacing though, I feel like that they needed to really explain, and they probably will later, is the sister of Alya. I just am confused about that. They didn't really go enough about her. I think the pacing
Yeah,
was really weird there, where she was in for like 5 minutes and then out, and then now it's all this. I don't know how that's going to be introduced later.
yeah. No, I
I will
think
say it's pretty.
the basic idea is that they're not actually related, but she just calls herself her big sister. That was my understanding of it.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm intrigued because I mean honestly, I'm interested to see where this ends up going. As like, it's kind of hard to adapt a novel because this is what the first. This is I think just still the first book because like I said, like it later got adapted into a light novel series, so I'm pretty sure the first two light novels makes up the full first novel. Um, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. So far pacing is not the greatest.
Yeah.
It's less like pacing the love interest story. It's more of introductory. Um, it's slow, but not super slow. Like you're closer to like Shinibio, but even Shinibio was a bit quicker on the in the sense of getting the whole love stuff together. So moving on from the bad story pacing, let's talk about some of the best aspects. And
Yeah. There's a lot good to
I
talk
kind of want
about
to.
here. There's a lot good to
I
talk
think
about here.
should we talk about Alya first? Because honestly, in terms of feel, like how do I put this? Every single like most romance animes and stuff, or like really love interests in animes, it feels like oh she's a badass kind of a thing. Ah, she's so cool. And it feels like they're not really a character. They feel like they're inhuman almost, like almost
Yeah.
like a robot
No,
type
they're very
situation. I feel
flat,
like
poorly written characters
yeah,
a lot of
Alia
times.
feels like she's a character. She feels like well rounded instead of like a flat
Yeah, no.
character.
She's well written. No, she's very well written, and that's actually,
Yeah.
I would say, something very good about this anime, and it's very important to the rom-com style. The character writing, and not just character writing, but character interactions and the dynamics between characters are incredibly well done. It's a situation where, because the characters are written with, by the way, depth, and they're written in a way that you see stuff and you want to be like, hey, I want to learn more, I want to see more interactions between characters, but they're specifically written in a deep way that when two characters kind of interact with each other, they stay true to their character, and that interaction that is born is unique to those two characters and how their personalities, collide with one another. And that's what's really strong, is that's what makes it very interesting. Like, there was a scene where um Alia's quote unquote sister and the main character go out shopping together, and they have this specific dynamic between the two of them that's based on how their how their personalities are and how they uniquely interact with each other, right? The older sister is very kind of aloof,
Hmm.
while the main character is a little bit more level-headed, and so their interactions are a little bit, they're different compared to how the main character might interact with Alia or his sister, or how
It
Alia interacts with his sister. The
it's something I
because
like. It
because of
makes
their
it human.
personalities, is it makes it, yeah, it makes it human.
Like it's just it's something I feel like that it's missing not just from anime but just from a lot of media in general is like a lot of characters aren't just humanized anymore. It's just more of like, ah, here's a superhero, here's whatever. This feels like, oh my gosh, like this is kind of like how a normal human being interacts. This is how I interact. I
Yeah,
act differently around this person from this person. I will say it did give me quite a scare though at the beginning because the first episode, this is just more detail because like we didn't go into super detail in the episodes, but the first episode, the first few seconds, she gets hit on by this random dude and she seems like the stone cold person, and you're like, oh, it's a Russian anime, Russian girl. Ah, obviously it's gonna be this whole stereotype of her being the strong, independent person that's like shoving everybody away from. You felt like it was going to be that generic, average, like romance type of person where it's like, oh, I love this cool girl, but I can't be near her because she's too cool. It's not that because she acts cold around that person, but then you realize, oh my god, this person's like an actual human being. It's because she just constantly gets hit on. It's interesting. It does. It gave me that scare. I literally, it scared me. I'm like, oh no, not like your typical love interest, and then she seemed normal after she pushed around the main character, and it's like, oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. No, her
What else?
personality kind of definitely shines through, which is, it's, sorry, my brain kind of just left me there for a second. I
That's all right,
apologize. You
dog.
continue.
It's all right.
You go.
I was gonna say like the next best aspect about it, which I guess I'm hopping back off of this. So if you wanted to say something, even you can. But I was gonna hop on to like how cute the anime really is. Like it's just
Yeah, no.
for romance anime, it is adorable.
Yeah, no. From, yet again, from those interactions between the characters, it is funny. There are good funny moments, and it's very cute and wholesome. It's, although we, yet again, we talked about the pacing being kind of bad. That's probably one of that's one of the only bad things about it. It's genuinely interesting to
Yeah,
watch. You want to see what happens next. You want to see how these characters interact with one another. You want to see how the relationship advances. Because that's another cool thing is the main character. He is a lot more written compared to other main characters you might see in a rom-com, right? A lot of times rom-coms have that MC character that's just very basic, bland. It has nothing to him. It's like the character that allows whoever's watching the quote unquote slip into that character, right? It's not good because the character's bland and uninteresting. This character is like his own thing, is his own character rather than a a character. What's that word that you can self-insert into? He's
Yeah.
actually written as his own character, which is
The
nice.
the character. So going back to an anime we watched or we started to watch, we were originally going to review it, but it ended up being god awful. It reminds me of the main character to The Foolish Angel Dances with the Devil. That was the worst type. It's like a love. He knows what I'm talking about. It's like
Yeah,
a love anime that came out for like the spring or winter season. It was awful. It was
yeah,
apparently not close to what the book was even like. But the main character was like this very sub character, and that's it. That's like his whole
yeah,
personality. He's a one personality
yeah,
character, and you're just it's like one of those animes that you're meant to just like simp for the main feminine character, which is like what I like about this anime is it allows you to actually enjoy all of the characters. It's not
yeah,
trying to like force, oh, look at our cute anime, now watch it because we have a cute character, blah 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 blah. Like half, what crap comes out nowadays.
yeah.
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah. No, most
Um,
most most trashy rom-coms kind of have this style where it's it's pretty much the main character is a self-insert. He has no personality, and it allows you, quote unquote, the viewer to imagine yourself as them. And then it has a cast of really hypersexualized female characters that pretty much just exist for fan servicing. And then after that, it just kind of hits these notes, the same, step after step kind of factory made
yeah.
story
It's
of,
almost harem-y.
yeah, the main character and the girls have this situation and this situation, and it's very bland. It's like the quote unquote beach episode where the main character and the girls go to a beach together, and it's very fan service. It's like that. There's no actual story. It's just main character, self insert, sexualized females. There might be some quote unquote unique dynamic between them, and then they just go through the same story each time of the beach episode or the water park episode or the theme park episode or the very basic generic tropey crap. And
Yeah, no, I really liked it for that, and it's
this is,
rare to find an anime that's
yeah,
not that.
you have stuff like Toradora, or one of my favorites is My Dress Up Darling, where it has a actually written main character, a well written female character, and a unique dynamic, but also a unique story that keeps you interested. This is very much like that, where there's a main character who's not a self insert, he's his own person, with female characters that aren't hypersexualized, have in depth personalities, and their interactions with them all together, plus a unique story, make it interesting, makes you want to watch it more, and it makes you more connected to the story and the characters.
And like you know how much I love romance animes. That's what I like really started first off watching, and then I started like switching out of romance, and then I've gotten back into it. I have watched really, 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 really bad romance animes.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them I actually end up finishing or putting down.
Oh yeah.
This is one that I have been able to continue, and I'm like, holy cow! In a world in which almost every, you know, season we get some out like in another world romance anime that tries to not be a romance anime but really is, and all these other things. It is extremely refreshing to get something that I can be like, yeah, this is pretty
Yeah.
good. This is enjoyable.
Yeah. It's genuinely well written. I mean, I love it. I've been enjoying it. It's like
Yeah.
you said, it's something that I actively want the next episode to come out. so I can keep watching, so that I can see what happens next. And I've like you said, you've seen a ton of trashy. I've seen a absurd amount of
Mm.
trashy anime because for
Yeah,
some reason I
you've
like
seen more
picking
than I
up.
have.
I like picking up trashy. That's the one thing I will watch. Other animes, like if I pick up an anime and it's trash, I kind of drop it. If it's not really pushing me to get the to see the next episode, I'll drop it. With rom coms, that I kind of finished quite a few of them. I've finished quite a few trashy ones, and so I've seen it time after time. There's so many rom-com animes I've seen where it's like I watch through and I'm like, I feel like I've already seen this anime 50 times. This is not like that at all,
Yeah.
which is such a breath of fresh air.
Um, and going on to the next one, because like honestly, like that's literally where all the good aspects are.
Yeah, yeah,
Overall, voice acting's great, story pacing. We'll get to that in a second because that's the we'll talk about what the bad
yeah,
aspects are in a second, but there's really not that many. But the best aspects is writing. It's cute. It's great. It's funny. Feels human. Um, it's I think the really big highlight word we're looking for is refreshing because it's. I feel like in today's world in anime where there's just too much bull crap coming out,
yeah,
it just it is bliss. It is sweet. It is bliss. It is something that you don't expect, but you didn't realize you needed. And with
yeah.
honestly, this season's roster being extremely bland, Suicide Squad Isekai was
Oh yeah, oh
horrendous.
yeah. There's
This
not
is one of
much.
the
There's not
this is
much
the
this
one
season.
few ones like I think was good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I think we should we hop into the next point
yeah.
or
Well, I mean, yeah. Kind of conclusion here. Good character writing.
yeah,
The
where it falls
concept.
short. I was just gonna say where it falls short is really just because that's
Yeah.
the next one I
Well,
had on here. It's just really
no.
story pacing and it's just really cringe moments.
I was gonna
Sorry, go
finish
ahead.
out my thoughts on the good things. No, good character writing.
Oh, I'm
The con-
sorry.
Shut up. The concept is fleshed out. It's very funny and cute. The sub voice acting is like incredible. They did a great job. It's entertaining. And what's also cool is the production and the animation are very good. We didn't talk about that, which is kind of important.
Oh yeah, we didn't.
The animation is very high quality. Very,
Yeah.
they put a lot of effort into it. Which I mean, for a rom-com anime, that's
yeah.
not necessarily needed, but they decided to do it anyways, and it's very nice. It's very nice. Yeah, and also the different ending in every episode. The opening's great. Yeah, no, it has a lot of very good aspects.
I feel very bad for the person that has to animate Alya because her eyes have like 50. I saw a video about this for like one of the characters in Hell of a Boss, even though I don't really like that show anymore. For Beelzebub, it's the fact when you put so many colors in a character, it then gets being painful to animate. Alya's eyes has like 6 colors, 7 colors.
Yeah,
of them. And
like
it's like
17 hues of blue. I mean, they're
yeah,
pretty, but
and it's really yeah. The eyes are really cool, and like we said, animation is high quality. I mean, that's one of the parts that is, but it's like, holy cow! I feel bad for whoever's sitting in the studio that's getting like a minimum wage pay and is like, I hate drawing eye. Like every panel, dude. I feel so bad for that
yeah.
person.
Well, at least they're not Mappa Studio.
Oh God,
Poor
no.
Mappa.
Thank
Poor
God,
Mappa.
dude.
Poor Mappa.
Dude.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah.
Onto what kind of falls short. There. I mean, you said mainly the pacing. There's a little bit more than that. Like I said,
I really said the cringe bits because there's like one or two cringe bits that I was like,
there are a couple cringe bits, but like overall, I'd say the soundtrack nothing special. The pacing's a little bit awkward. Yeah. The dub is not good. Like genuinely, it's nothing to be desired. I would say avoid it at all costs. The sub is just so
like,
much better.
Think of it like just think of it like this. Imagine Dr. Stone or Van Hohenheim being the love interest or the main character with the love interest being Ash Ketchum. That's the voice acting you're getting.
Yeah, no.
That's how bad it is. Think of those characters because those are really popular ones. That is what you're getting.
Yeah, no. It just for an anime that's so important in that department, they screwed up. So I'm a dub kind of guy, and I genuinely have to recommend only sub for this one because they just did not care. Other than that though, I think my only other kind of point was I did say the main characters fleshed out more, And he does feel, but at the same time, and I'm hoping that it'll this will happen more as the series goes on. For me, he's specifically he's kind of just crossed that line of generic MC, where he's now interesting but and unique. But I hope they reveal and write him out more. I hope he has
Yeah.
his more character development as the story goes on, because he does feel
Yeah,
like
I
a
feel like that's
teensy bit generic. He's definitely unique, and he interacts with scenes better than most generic MC. It's not like the sock scene, although it's a little bit weird. Most generic MCs would react to that scene like, "Oh, my nose is bleeding. I can't believe she's telling me
Oh
to take
yeah,
off
no,
her
that I
sock.
actually
Oh,
I
oh."
did say that that was the funny part to me where that role was flipped where she was freaking out
Yeah,
because like 90% of the time, like think of it like Nagatoro. Like I enjoyed reading the manga, but then when like the anime came out, I'm like, was it really this bad? Like really written? It's so cringy. You can clearly like it's meant to be for the average simp male, and it's like if Deku, was changing. Like she's like, oh god, oh no.
yeah, no,
No,
his
it's funny. It's funny to see those roles flipped
yeah.
where she's the one freaking out. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they took pretty much what
Uh,
would have been a very generic rom-com scene and flipped it on its head. That was cool. But I will say, I hope they do
it was
flesh
so
him out
cringy.
more as it goes on. But overall,
Yeah.
what falls short isn't a
Yeah.
lot.
No. And honestly, the only thing to expect for the viewers, I don't even want to include this. I should have deleted this off the script. Not script, balls. The chapter thing we have here, where we're just kind of discussing through chapters. Honestly, only thing you should expect, cute anime, great story writing, like everything we talked about
Yeah,
in the best aspects. Expect all of this. Like final thoughts, at least to me, it's good. I would say
yeah,
give it a
straight up.
watch. I give it a solid 8. Overall, I would say lit.
Yeah,
Like
no, for me, it's easily an 8.5. There's, like I said, there's such a oversaturation of really crappy rom-coms that this is easily breath of fresh air. If you are a fan of rom-coms, you're gonna love this thing. This is good. This is a good series.
yeah.
As of episode 4, it's, like I said, pacing weird. Everything else about it makes it interesting. You're gonna want to watch it.
Um yeah, no, genuinely lit. That's what we say. That's our
Yeah.
conclusion to that.
Conclusion: it is
We do
lit.
want to talk we should talk about though, we do want to highlight, so now that we're kind of at the end here, before we plug any of our socials or anything, we do want to talk about the reviews from other people. So right now, if I remember right, this is sitting
Yeah.
at an 8.2. I want you to
Yeah.
say the review that you
Yeah.
found because that is
Yeah.
funny as all get out.
Yeah. So this is a review from from someone on Mal. Someone on Mal wrote this review, and we had to include this. The dude removed it. No,
Did he
no, it's
actually?
removed. It's removed. No, it was so funny. It was
Oh,
so
dude.
funny.
So while researching this, we found a very funny comment. It was like on the premise that basically he was calling it like Russian propaganda in the sense that if you support this, you're a Russian imperialist, and it's, I don't even know like what that was about. Like maybe something with the war in Ukraine or something. This guy just really hated Russians, but like this man was just like hating on it and just calling people that watched it Russian, so like imperialist, like, and how this is propaganda and crap. Like, and it was a dead review too. It gave it like a 3 or a 1. I can't
Oh,
remember what.
it was a one, but it was pretty much like, this anime is supporting Russian language, which is Russian propaganda, and if you enjoy this, you're being indoctrinated. It was very funny.
So yeah, right now on Mal, there's no not recommended. Let's see what the mixed reviews are. Um, Honestly, none. I'm surprised that people aren't really saying anything necessarily bad.
I mean, to be quite frank, this is a top anime next to Oshinoko for this season. It's got a great ranking, 8.12.
Okay, here's a good review. Okay, I gotta point this review out. I've just read something. The guy was like crapping on the voice actor selection for Japan. I was like, I can't say that. But the guy did point out something that's funny. So I'm gonna quote this. This guy gave it, mixed feelings. He said, "Given they all have smartphones, why is the main girl assuming others can't understand what she said? Google Translate is a thing."
Fair, very fair point. Very fair point.
And I was like, I didn't even think about that, but that is a really funny thing. I would love to see that as like, that would be the funniest thing if that's actually what happened in this anime or something like that, some Google Translate type thing. That would be interesting for a rom-com to be like two different languages, but yeah, I feel like animes don't use like the idea of technology is very foreign to them. I feel like every time you get like a rom-com or something, one character
Yeah.
doesn't even know what a phone is or doesn't use it because they're too
Yeah.
rich or bougie or something
And
like that. Which
some
is, like, doesn't
anime
make
were written
sense.
before, and so it's like flip phones, whatever. But no.
Future
This
diary moment.
true or a Steins Gate moment, dude. That
Oh
was supposed
yeah,
to be
Steins Gate, dude.
2010. No,
Uh,
but I was gonna make a point here. What was I gonna make? You interrupted me. Girl. No, this something very cool is the fact that what they're doing with the whole language thing. They've put such an emphasis on it and done very good in the sub, which you don't see a lot. Some people, some animes, they kind of just completely skip over. Well, like I was saying, in a lot of anime, they completely just do away with and don't even try to do other languages when it comes to it. I think the best example is in Vinland Saga, where the main character, there's a point where the main character, who speaks Danish, is trying to communicate with two guards who speak French, and they're both speaking Japanese. Like both guards and the main character, all three of them are speaking Japanese, but it's like the anime's trying to pretend that the main character's speaking Danish and they're speaking French and they can't communicate.
I'm just happy they did something about that because I feel like a lot of animes are lazy.
Yeah. And so this one,
And now
it's
it's
like
almost media nowadays.
when
Too.
when the main character or the Alya actually speaks Russian, they speak Russian and there's subtitles in both English and Japanese for when they're speaking in Russian. And so it's like it's not lazy. It's nice. It's cool. They actually they paid attention and they went the extra mile, and it's nice. It's cool.
Yeah, no. Overall, lit. Guess that's the end of our discussion.
Yeah.
Our socials are quite literally. Mine is Astrid Bear. I'm on YouTube. You're gonna have to search by channel. My friend here, Ono HP, he's on
YouTube and Twitch.
He's on YouTube too and Twitch. Same name, title.
Twitch.tv/OnoHP.
We also have Mal accounts if you guys want to check those out.
Don't follow me on Mal.
Again.
Don't follow me on Mal. Don't do that.
Anyways, overall, good anime. Recommend it. 8 lit. It's surprisingly not shit. It's full lit.
Yeah, and end of podcast. Check out our socials, and we'll upload probably 5 months from now.
Hopefully more frequently. Yeah, probably.
5 months from now.
Hopefully more frequently at some point. But we're gonna wait till the fall season because
this season sucks straight up. Maybe we'll do second season of Oshinoko. Who knows? Maybe not.
Yeah, because we originally weren't gonna do like
Dude,
other seasons.
We should do Fairy Tale. We should do
Fairy
Tale.
Oh, dude.
The first 4 episodes of the new Fairy Tale season, even though you have not seen any of it, that would be peak.
Yeah, actually, you know what? How about this? Yeah, next week, that's what our episode's gonna be. We're gonna do that.
Fairy
First
Tale.
4 episodes. I don't know anything about Fairy Tale. I'm just gonna watch it,
and it may or may not be next week.
We're gonna see how I take it.
Yeah,
Maybe,
but anyways,
maybe, may or may not be.
Goodbye now. We might come back next week. If not, we'll probably 5 months from now. Goodbye.
Disappearing.